Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin podcast. I am a woman on a mission to gather a cadre of writers, thinkers, and teachers who are transforming the world, one character at a time. And it all starts with one thing: a deep understanding of human motivation, why people do what they do, and the forces that drive them. But I'm still working with the Zettelkasten, and today is part two of the first repair clinic for a Zettelkasten: what to do when the numbers are too long. Now, yesterday we had to focus on what's causing the numbers to grow too long, and we identified three possible problems. Today, our challenge is to fix them now that we know what caused them and that we're not going to have it happen again. Then, how are we going to go about fixing them? One of the things before we get started on that is I would like to give us a more of a summary reason on what causes the problem of card numbers growing too long. I think in many cases it can be reduced to one single problem, and that is the problem of lack of conversation going on your card. Remember, every main card that goes into your Zettelkasten should already be a dialogue between the source material that you gathered and your response to it. Play Socrates, ask the card questions and ponder the answers and write down what that might mean onto the card, because the card needs to already be starting a conversation. It's a nibble of a conversation. And that is how you place the card with respect to the other cards in your Zettelkasten, because you know a card chooses its parent. And how does it choose its parent? It chooses its parent based on the flow of the conversation. If the new card participates nicely in the ongoing conversation, then there's a good chance that card is the parent. And if you want to place the parent precisely and you're having a problem with numbers getting too long, then it's a good idea to test more than one card. Does this conversation fit in with this one, with this one, with this one? And pull each of the cards where your new card seems to fit in with the conversation. And then ponder which one is truly the best parent. It's kind of the knee-jerk reaction of, well, the best place for the conversation is the card I just put in there, because it continues what I put in there in the first place. So that is a possible feature to be thinking about. The other thing that can help is when you go to transfer your notes from a bib card into a main card, really be thinking about whether that idea that you're going to put on a main card truly lights up your brain and is inspiring. Because if that idea isn't inspiring, it's best off left on your bib card. And if it's left on your bib card, it's not going to stretch your numbers out too long. So those are the two things that are going to keep it from getting worse. So then what do you do with it? If your numbers are based on a type of a system where the numbers just go blah, 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 I would suggest putting dashes in every 4 characters or every 4 sections, so that the numbers are more readable. That doesn't change the value, doesn't require you to change your index, it just makes them easier to read. So the most important thing, though, is properly selecting the parent, because when you properly select the parent, you get a snugger conversation. So now, what do you do with those other cards that could have been the parent? Because if you're carefully searching for your parent, you might have 2 or 3 cards that could have been the parent. So when you really look at them, if that's truly the case that they could be the parent, then each one deserves a link. And that means making a directory card, if that card doesn't already have a directory card, or adding to the directory card and putting down the full card number of the card that could have been this card's child. That way the child card is included in the conversation. Another remedial thing that you can do to take care of your Zettelkasten is when you've identified your parent card, make sure that your parent card follows the rules for a main card. Does it have a thought from your source? Does it have your contribution? And does it have a tagline, which is a memory prompt for everything on the card, such that as soon as you see that tagline, the whole card will come back into your memory? And does it have the source indicated? If your parent is missing any of those elements, supply them now. And especially important if your parent was only indexed by keyword, because you really want to use the tagline as your index. Doesn't hurt to have more index entries added. So once you've added your tagline to your parent card, underline the keywords in that and index that entire tagline under each of the keywords. So in this way, you're not creating a giant burden for yourself. Oh, I've got to rework my whole Zettelkasten. You don't, but when you choose a new parent card, make sure that the conversation is clear, because you're now adding to the conversation. And if you do that, your numbers will not grow uncomfortably. If you keep those dashes in place, they'll remain readable. And if you go back to each parent card as it is selected, make sure it has your conversation and the tagline and is indexed by tagline, then your Zettelkasten will very soon be back in comfortable working order. So that is how you deal with it when your card numbers get too long. Oh, and I'd like to remind you that I'm working on a course that is designed to help you get the Zettelkasten of your dreams on your desktop. If you would like to stay in the loop and be informed as to progress on that course, have an opportunity to have some input in where the course goes, and to be notified when the course is ready, you can sign up my email list, kathleenspracklin.com/zk-dreams for the Zettelkasten of your dreams. And if you do sign up for that, just to tide you over, because it'll probably be, I'm thinking probably late September, early October before the course is complete. So in the meantime, this is something that you will get when you sign up. It is a list of all my YouTube videos that cover the Zettelkasten, and they're broken down by categories so that you can figure out which one you want to see if you want to start putting your Zettelkasten into place. So do sign up for that if it interests you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.